Hey guys, it's Jessie, and today I'm going to be doing the Intergalactic Book Tag. Anyways, if I apologize for my voice, if it's kind of raspy, I'm kind of really sick right now. Without further ado, this Intergalactic Book Tag is inspired by Starfly by Melissa Landers. And if Melissa Landers sounds familiar, it's probably because you've heard of her other sci-fi series called, the first book is Alienated and the second book is Invaded. So if you haven't read the Alienated series, I highly recommend that you check it out because it's a really fun series. And so Starflight, I recommend it to anybody who is like fans of Firefly. That's what Melissa told me when I met her one time that this book would be like. So I have not read it yet, but I've heard nothing but great things and some of my friends have started reading it, so I will get to it this month, fingers crossed. So without further ado, let's get to the Intergalactic Book Tag.
Sorry if I'm looking at this over here, it's because the questions are on my computer and I can't memorize them all.
Question 1, space. Name a book that is out of this world and takes place out of our world. So for this question, it was a bit difficult. I was trying to choose between a few different books, but I ended up going with Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson because a lot of you guys know Peter Pan. I love Peter Pan. And so it would be my dream to go to Neverland. This book is about, it's a spin-off of Peter Pan, sort of. It's Peter Pan told in Tiger Lily perspective. I mean, it's told in Tinkerbell's point of view and she watches over Tiger Lily. So it's basically about Tiger Lily and Tinkerbell and their adventure, and it's such a great Peter Pan novel. I love it so much and the feels are real with this one. Next in the tag is Black Hole, a book that completely captivated you and sucked you in. And for me, that book was Hotel Ruby by Suzanne Young. So again, Suzanne Young is one of my favorite authors, so when I had the chance to get an ARC of this book, which is somewhere behind me, I read it in a day because Suzanne Young just has a magical way with words, I feel. Like anything that you read, her writing is just so effortless and smooth, it just draws you in, and like once you start reading Suzanne Young's books, you can't stop. So this is a great book, so I highly recommend it. It's probably one of my all-time favorites too. So yeah, check out Hotel Ruby by Suzanne Young. Next, Lightspeed, a book that you were anticipating so much that you would go travel at light speed to go and get it. So for me, another book story. I don't know if I told you, it's the time where I got my ARC of Illuminae. It's complicated, but when I got my ARC of Illuminae, I did start tearing up. So this is kind of like back in time. This isn't a book that's coming out. It has already come out, but before it came out, I definitely traveled at light speed to get it. I did everything in my power to get this novel, and it was such a long story how I got it. So this is an awesome sci-fi read. It's such a cool novel, and it may look intimidating, but it's really interesting. It's told in like files, IM messages. There's so many cool things inside of this book. So if you're a sci-fi fan or a zombie apocalypse fan, anything like that, I definitely recommend that you check Illuminae out by Amy Kaufman and J. Kristoff. I almost said Megan Spooner because Amy Kaufman wrote another book with her. Anyways, I picked 2 for this answer too because I also said Lady Midnight. I'm copying Sasha on this one because, of course, Cassandra Clare, one of the series that really lifted me up in the book community, and I was super eager to get this one. I was so happy to get my hands on this. It comes out on March 8th, so if you love the Mortal Instruments series, keep your eye out for this coming out very soon. Emma Carstairs at the Los Angeles Institute, so it's different from the Mortal Instruments, not the same characters. Next we have Nebula, a book with a beautiful cover. For this question I chose Vengeance Road by Erin Bauman. Not only does it have a very aesthetically pleasing cover, I mean, I see this cover book pictured all over Bookstagram, all over the Bookstagram community and stuff, but it's also a fantastic book. Like, I don't read many Western novels, but I read this one because I picked it up because I heard so many great things about it. So I did really enjoy this book, and it's one that I kind of wish would be adapted into a movie because I loved it so much. And also I picked 2 for this tag question 2 because I had to go with also Illusionarium by Heather Dixon. It just has such a beautiful cover. I mean, look at that. It is gorgeous. These 2 covers are just so pretty. Question 5, Multiverse. Name a companion novel or spin-off book that you loved. So for me, I had to choose Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Leigh Bardugo also wrote the Grisha trilogy, which starts off with Shadow and Bone. I really enjoyed the Grisha trilogy. I have to still read the last book in that trilogy, but I read the first two. And so this is not related story-wise to any of the characters in the Grisha trilogy, sort of. Like you can read this book without reading the Grisha trilogy. It just takes place in the same world. So it's about a convict, a sharpshooter, a runaway, a spy, a heartrender, and a thief, and they go on this huge journey together to try and just read it. I have too many books on my desk now. Next we have Gravity, a book with characters that kind of have a pull towards each other. For this question, I chose Venom by Fiona Paul, and the characters that kind of have a pull to each other inside are Falco and Cass. I really loved their story, and this ended on a big cliffhanger, so I'm definitely going to pick up the next book soon because I loved this book. Next is The Big Bang, a book that really got you into reading. So for this question, I chose two books actually because these two books played a big part in it getting me into reading. I mean, before I picked up these books, of course, when I was little, I read all of the Nancy Drew books and all the Goosebumps books. Those really got me into loving reading, but these are the two books that mainly got me really into the young adult and book blogging community, sort of. So those books are Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs and The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. So I read this one in 2011. I remember when my dad ordered it on Amazon, it was like the first time of me hearing Amazon, and same with this one too. The Hunger Games, I read it before the movie. That was awesome. I cannot wait for the Miss Peregrine's movie too, by the way. So excited. Next is Asteroid. Name a short story or novella that you loved. So I can't really answer this question because I don't think I've ever read a short story or novella because I have a lot of books and I don't have time. I just try to read all the books I can because my TBR pile is over hundreds of books. So closest to a novella that I've read is the selection stories The Prince and the Guard by Kiera Cass. I think I picked it up when I got it like over a year or two ago. Kiera Cass, anything she writes is good pretty much, so I'm just gonna go with that one even though I haven't finished it. I don't really remember much, but yeah, I'll go with that.
Next. I'm missing a book. Okay.
Next, Galaxy. Name a book with multiple point of views. I thought this book would be appropriate because I loved it, and yeah, it also has a galaxy on the cover. It's one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. Me and my dad rave and love this book so much. If you have not read These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself because I know a lot of people love this book. It is amazing, one of my favorite sci-fi novels ever next to Illuminae, so definitely recommend that you pick this one up soon. Next is Spaceship. Name a book title that would be a good name for a spaceship. So I had trouble with this one. I didn't want to pick the same as Sasha. She picked, why am I blanking on the name? Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I kind of looked around my shelf. I found a few, so I just picked Blackbird by Anna Carey. I don't know if that would necessarily be the name of my spaceship, but I thought it sounded okay. I had a few books, but that was kind of a hard question because at first I had a hard time finding any books for a name of spaceship. Anyways, that was the Intergalactic Book Tag. I hope you enjoyed it. So I will see you next time. Like, subscribe to see more videos soon. Bye! And check out Starflight by Melissa Lander.